Buddy,
Welcome back.
how's your week been?
I mean, week's been okay. It's just they're all kind of blending together at this point.
I feel like March was the longest damn month, and that's weird to me because I'm already a shut in. Like, I don't have to go anywhere. I guess like the weeks I have my daughter, we do some things like dance, swim, and some of that. So I leave the house and I go to. I did enjoy. It was like a 3 times a week thing. I would go to the grocery store and see what meat was marked down for quick sell, and just peruse things that are marked down that I can throw in the freezer. I don't get to do that anymore. So there were things I did, but I feel like for the most part, I still am a homebody. And for some reason, March was just drug on like no month has ever in my life.
I mean, I gotta ask, what does your daughter normally do when you're at dance class?
She watches. She supports me. She's a very supportful child.
Well, that's good. You always need support there from the family. I mean, that's the way it is.
I think that's important. Dance, and whenever she's in dance, I go to the strip club.
I mean, that's that's what I would do as well. It's just I was just curious, how she dealt with it. No, it's yeah, it's. I was just talking to a different friend of mine who said the exact same thing. He was talking about how just March feels like it was a lifetime. And it's kind of weird that we're already, for those who always want to know the date, we're, the 7th of April at this point.
Right. It feels like April's just flying by.
And we're a week through April already, which seems crazy in comparison to this stuff. And it was kind of funny because a news article came out the other day where Trump made a comment about the how he thinks the impeachment trial might have distracted him from the whole COVID problem. Well, and my response to her was, you can't blame something that happened months ago, before COVID even started on this trial that's already been over. And her response was, well, didn't that happen in January? And I was like, holy shit, that did actually only happen in January.
In February. Yeah, so the acquittal actually happened in February. But the easy argument for anyone that tries to use that line is to list all the rallies that Trump held. Because his last rally happened in March.
Sure. To me, it even put it in perspective of how long March has felt. Because I felt like the impeachment trial stuff was, that was so 2019. And it wasn't even 2019 at all. Like it was.
Well, I mean, a lot of it was just the acquittal part happened in 2020.
Yeah, it's just crazy how long it feels ago, even though it wasn't that long ago.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's it is interesting how what is this?
What is what?
There's something down here. I don't even know what it is. What is this?
What's the down here? Where's here?
Come to the pyramid and go down the blue line.
Okay, hold on. Let me drop off some of these taters.
Oh, it's a fox. It's the fox. It's the fox. It's Doc's fox.
Oh, wait, he's alive? Didn't he die?
Yeah. I thought he disappeared, but he's down at the end of this corridor.
Huh. Wait,
and where he was
corridor?
standing. Huh?
Is it his portal corridor?
Yeah, the one the portal's on. But where he was standing before, I couldn't quite see the top of his head or his body, so it looked like, I don't know, it looked weird. But yeah, it's just Doc's fox.
Just Doc's fox in socks.
Yep.
Knocks
You ever read
on
that
box.
book?
So, it's really funny because, yes, I actually love reading that book to my son, and he randomly will talk about one of the pages that always gets me tongue twisted is about the beetle battles.
The Tweedle Beetle battles with the beetles in a bottle.
There you go.
And a poodle.
Yes.
Yeah, noodle eating poodle.
So I was never good at getting through that, though I get really good at getting through most Dr. Seuss rhymes because you read them over and over and over again, and
right.
And you got good at that one. I just always tongue twists me. So one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw it up on a YouTube rendition of reading this, and we're gonna see how it's supposed to be. Oh, you mean he's behind this wall? I forgot we did lock him in there. Look how sad he looks.
I don't remember locking him in here. Last I knew, he was leaded up down here on the thing. I don't.
Well, didn't he keep going up the stairs and falling off?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Should we let him free? See if he lives?
No, he'll probably die.
Okay, I guess little buddy. You're still
So
there.
in the
Hold on.
YouTube rendition
I got
of Fox
I
and
got some
Socks.
glass. We can watch him at least.
Okay. Yeah.
Puh. Hi.
Yeah.
It's not really enough.
No.
That was not me hitting
Right.
that
You
block.
keep glass in hand. Keep glass in hand. Oh, or okay. Keep glass in hand. Oh.
He's not even close to us.
Okay.
Dude, he's like scared.
Yeah, I
Hi,
think
buddy.
maybe he is scared.
Have foxes eat potatoes, right? Yeah, have a potato. There you go, buddy.
He turned his back.
He was like, nope.
Not even gonna look at it.
So I'm watching the YouTube version, and long before we get to, and it's one of those ones where it's just somebody reading, and they were reading very poorly, actually. So it was actually very disappointing because I was just like, wow, this guy's worse at reading than I am. It's like, hello, Fox in Socks, sir, is like how they were reading the book. And I was like, that's like, this is weird. I was expecting somebody to be like fast and rhythmic and, you know, this and that. And it was CGI to the point where it wasn't just like a picture from my camera of the book and then I turned the page. It was like these nice cropped like pictures. They looked like they came from a website somewhere, like they were like the original renditions or something like that. But before I even get to the Beatles, and all of a sudden it turns to this page and I'm like, I don't remember that page at all. And then I don't remember that page at all. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Like 5, 6, 7 pages about the Fox and Socks, and then it jumps to the next section that I was like, wait, this is where my book jumps to. I had no idea that they have like these abridged versions.
Yeah, the like little board books version.
Well, it's not even a board book though. It's still like the one I have is still like 45 pages, but it's still 45 pages less than the full version apparently. Apparently Fox and Socks is freaking long as hell.
Huh. So my version was mine as a child. So my version is from the 80s. I don't know.
Do you have it with you? I'm gonna pull up and see if I can find out how many pages Fox and Socks is supposed to be.
It must be in her room. I'll go get it.
Original Fox and Socks page length. I wonder if there's an online version of it. So the original version is 72 pages, according to what I'm seeing here now. For those who are waiting for Guude to come back. 72 pages. Now, unfortunately, my kids are out of town, and I think one of the books that they took with them was Fox and Socks, so I can't go look at the exact page number. But I want to say it's like 35 pages. So we're talking like half the length of what it is. And I had no idea that there was a longer version, because I don't remember that book from when I was a kid. I don't remember reading that book, and it's not that I don't remember reading that book that was never read to me. I don't remember all the details of it. So it's kind of it was kind of shocking to me to realize how much stuff is missing from the version that I have. And it's not like it says on the front cover, like this is the abridged version of Fox and Socks. It's just, this is
all right, I have it. You have your book as well?
I know, but I think they have it with them out of town. But I found the original online, so I know how long the original is supposed to be, and I know mine is not nearly this long.
I have 61 pages in mine.
So the original book, 72 pages.
Huh.
So
I wonder, guess some of these pages aren't counted though either.
Yeah, I mean that's possible. You could be missing either some pages, or it could just be the blank pages that it's not like counting in here.
Right.
My book is literally it's only got to be like 35 pages or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, but 35 I didn't think was short. It doesn't feel like it's missing
like,
a lot.
You got Fox, Socks, Box, Knox, and then Knox and Box, Fox and Socks, Knox
Chicks
and
with
Box,
bricks, chicks with blocks, chicks with bricks and blocks and clocks.
Well, first there's Socks on Knox and Box, and Fox and Socks and Box on Knox.
That all happens, yes, in my book.
Okay, yeah, and the Tricks with Bricks come, Tricks with Clocks come, Tricks with Bricks and Clocks, and then
and then the chicks and bricks and blocks and clocks part stops for mine, and it goes to the next thing. But there's like 8 more pages of bricks and blocks and shit.
Oh yeah, Clocks and Fox and Ticks, Clocks on Knox talk, 6 bricks ticks, 6
nope,
6 chick
that's
talk.
stuff not in the book that I have.
Really? Huh. And then, but then, but that's only one page. God, so, like, it's,
now you're gonna make me go actually look. Hold on, I'm gonna run down the hall and see if the book is like there, or if they actually brought it with them.
I never knew this. I read this book on my stream quite a bit, because it's one of my favorite books to read. And I did not know I was giving like content that is very unique. Apparently, my book is I wonder if it says in the front published date is for kids' books. The copyright's 1965, but that doesn't really tell me when this particular version was published. The hell was that sound? Does he make that sound? Yeah, it doesn't. There's no published date in this particular book. Because, yeah, it was copyrighted in 1965, and that was the original published date of these books. But there's no way my book. This wasn't my dad's book. This was definitely my book as a child. So it's probably only like 35 years old or something like that.
Yeah, no, they must have that one with them.
Huh. So so the chicks with bricks come, chicks with blocks come, chicks with bricks and blocks and clocks come. And then he says, look, sir, Mr. Knox, sir, let's do tricks with bricks and blocks, sir.
The whole, everything, sir, not in the book that I have.
Really?
That's what I found very interesting, because that was like the breaks in between the sections and the one I was watching on YouTube. That stuff doesn't exist in the book that I have.
So does he make a quick trick brick stack and a quick trick block stack?
No.
Huh. Because it goes, look, sir, let's do tricks with chicks and clocks, sir. And then he says, first I'll make a quick trick brick stack, then I'll make a quick trick block stack. You can make a quick trick chick stack. You can make a quick trick clock stack. And then he says, and here's a new trick, Mr. Knox. Socks and chicks on fox, fox on clocks and bricks and blocks and knocks on box. No, that's in yours either?
Here's a new trick. I think it jumps to that one as the end part of that book, that section, if I remember. Because it does talk about one trick page, and then it jumps to, I'm trying to remember what the next, what's the next section?
Like, it's probably Sue Sews, Sue's Clothes,
yes,
I think.
Yeah, so it jumps into
So you
Sue
don't have the
Sews.
part where he says, please, sir, I don't like this trick, sir. My tongue isn't quick or slick, sir.
Nope.
I don't get all these ticks and clocks, sir, mixed up with the chicks and talks, sir.
Nope.
I can't do it, Mr. Fox, sir.
Nope.
And he says, I'm sorry, Mr. Knox, sir. And he says, here's an easy game to play. Here's an easy thing to say.
We could jump into that.
Okay,
that's
so
there.
then new socks, two socks, who socks, who socks.
Yep.
And then who sews who socks, who sews who socks.
That's there.
All that.
Yes, that's there.
But does he have does Mr. Knox say that's not so easy, Mr. Fox, sir?
Nope.
Huh,
I don't think there's a Mr. Knox at all in the book that I have.
What? Who is the fox talking to?
Nobody.
I need to see this book that you're reading. Because there's even a board book that my daughter has that's a much shorter version. It's like 10 pages. But Mr. Knox is still there.
I'm going to
Because you need Mr. Knox to yell at him at the end about the fuddle-duddled, waddle-puddled, poodle-eating noodle battle.
Here's a Fox and Socks fast version on YouTube. I'm not going to play the sound, but I'm going to try to look if they jump through the pages or if this is just, I don't know, somebody talking over the front cover, so that doesn't help.
Is there Slow Joe Crow? Does he come and
Nope. There's no Slow Joe Crow.
What?
Does not exist.
Who comes, Crow comes. Slow Joe Crow comes. Who sews crow's clothes, so sews crow's clothes.
Not.
Slow Joe Crow sews whose clothes, Sue's clothes.
Nope.
And then Sue sews socks on Fox and socks now. Slow Joe Crow sews Knox and box now.
Nope.
Sue sews rose on Slow Joe Crow's clothes. Fox sews hose on Slow Joe Crow's nose. Hose goes, rose grows, nose, hose, grows some. Crow's rose grows some.
Nope.
And then Knox says, Mr. Fox, I hate this game, sir. This game makes my tongue quite lame, sir. Mr. Knox, sir, what a shame, sir. And then he says, we'll find something new to do now. Here's a lot of new blue goo now.
New blue goo now. That is definitely in there. And you know what? I get really at the blue glue gluey glue goo goo gooey or something at the end that doesn't rhyme at one of the last pages. And I bet it doesn't rhyme because it rhymes with something the day before or the page before that I don't have.
It goes, here's a lot of blue goo now. New goo, blue goo, gooey gooey, blue goo, new goo, gluey gluey. And then gooey goo is for chewy chewing. That's what Goo Goose is doing. Do you choose to chew goo too, sir? If sir, you sir, chew to chew, sir, with the Goo Goose, sir, do sir.
Ooh, I found it.
You don't have any of that?
Yes.
Oh, so you do have.
Yeah.
Well, then you have to have Knox, because who else would he be talking to?
I mean,
and then Knox goes, Mr. Fox, sir, I won't do it. I can't say it. I won't chew it. And Fox says, very well, sir. Step this way. We'll find another game to play.
Nope. Hold on. I found a PDF of it, of the full book online. So,
of your version?
No, of the, and I'm going to try to tell you which ones. So I'm trying to get glue. It's got the picture of the guy eating the glue. Mr. Fox, sir, I won't do it. That page is not in there. Very well, sir. We'll find another game to play is not in there either. The whole Bim Bims come or the Bim Ben, that's not in there at all.
Really?
There's no Bens, Bim Brooms, the pigs, not in there. It skips right over that.
Really?
Goes to bring your mouth. It doesn't even say mouth this way.
Yeah, bring your mouth this way. I'll find something that can.
Luke Luck Licks Lake, not in my book at all.
Really?
Nope. No DuckTales. No Black. This whole section's not there. There's no talk about Mr. Knox. God, Through the Cheese Trees, not even in there. Stop it. Yeah, this is why it threw me off so bad, because we used to read this book every night, and I was like, what is this garbage that I'm seeing? And
then you have to have the next part, because it's the Tweedlebeetle.
Well, it starts with, what do you know about Tweedlebeetles? Well, that's not in there either.
Really?
But, hold on.
It's called a Tweedlebeetle battle. When they battle in a puddle, it's Tweedlebeetle puddle battle. And when the Tweedlebeetles battle in the paddles in a puddle, they call it a Tweedlebeetle puddle battle.
So yes, all that part exists, but the pictures are different than what are on there. Like, they're in different pages because clearly it's like a mix of some things that went on one page and some things that went on another. Because it starts with when Tweedlebeetles fight. Oh no, that's not even. It doesn't even say that one. Actually, hold on. Oh God, it's just this is the hardest PDF to.
Well, that's like the end of the dang book right there. Because after the puddle paddle battle, it's when beetles battle beetles in a puddle paddle battle, and the beetle paddle is a puddle in a bottle.
Yep.
So you have that.
That's all there. When beetle battles both there and there, they call that a Tweedlebeetle bottle puddle paddle muddle. And when beetles fight these battles in a bottle with their paddles and the bottles on a poodle and a poodle's the poodle. This page isn't here with the poodles eating noodles.
Really?
It jumps right to the next page. Where it says a Tweedlebeetle noodle poodle bottled paddled muddled duddled fuddled wuddled fox and sock sir.
Does it not have Mr. Knox shoving him in the bottle when he's saying all that?
No, it does
not.
Your
book does not have Mr. Knox.
Well, I take that back because it does say at the very last page, Fox and Socks, our game is done, sir. Thank you for a lot of fun, sir. So he's saying goodbye to somebody, but it never mentions Mr. Knox.
That's really weird.
It was only weird to me once I realized there was supposed to be more to it.
Huh.
And it makes
me
wonder
when my book was published. So it was copyrighted 1965, but that's not when this book was published, because this was one of my books as a child. And I don't think it was my dad's book as a child as well. I guess it could have been, but for some reason, I would have thought it would say in here when this particular copy, like, was it first edition, all that sort of thing. But there's none of that in the front part.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder if there's other books that we have, because this is not a board book. It's just like the normal hardcover with the the paper pages. It's just clearly a shorter version than the full version.
Right.
And like we have a lot of those books. Like, well, Cat in the Hat, we read a lot. Oh, The Places You'll Go is a fantastic one. We really like that book. I am not a fan of Big Dog, Little Dog, but my son loves it and my wife loves it from when she was a child. But I don't know if there's like stuff missing in there. Are You My Mother, I think, is terrible. And we have a problem with Are You My Mother and One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, because we have the Spanish versions of those. Okay. So it gives you the English and then the Spanish. And I feel like I'm missing out on half the book when I just read the English part of it, because the whole point of it is to learn Spanish as well. Yeah. And I don't know Spanish enough to like say all the words, and it's like right, not super easy. So I try to skip over those books. But it makes me wonder how many other Dr. Seuss books I'm not getting the full craziness. I mean,
I guess they decided that 65 pages is long.
It's very long for a kid's book. It's very long for a kid's book.
But I mean, at the same time, like, what else you doing with your life? Like, I mean, you're the parent reading it. Like, you can read. I mean, I don't know. I would feel so cheated by my Fox and Socks experience if I had your book.
Well, I guess I do kind of feel cheated because it's fun to read and I enjoy reading it to my son because I think it's, a tongue twister and exciting, and he randomly will talk about the beetle battles and, things like that, like during the day. So we'll, grab it and read it again just to have fun like that. But at the same time, have you ever had those books that it's really funny? We have one book where Jack if you just start reading it, I don't know why. I don't know what he hates about this book, but he says, I don't want to read that one. And he will take it from you and throw it off the bed. Like the same book. Like
what book is it?
Oh, God, it's something about some little girl doing experiments. It's like not a Dr. Seuss book. It's just some random book. I don't know what it is he dislikes about it. It's not like, it doesn't have a sad story in it of any type. Like, I don't, but what it is. And he always looks at me and says, Dad, this book is for bigger kids, not for me. And he just throws it off the side of the bed. Like, was what he, and I was just like, I'm baffled. Like, it's the weirdest thing in the world. But then there's some books where he's like, let's read this one. And it's like books that I just absolutely despise reading. And they're super long and they're super wordy and they don't really make any sense. And you try to skip over a page and he'll be like, no, Dad, you missed this one. You missed this one. So I'm kind of okay with them making a short version so that, you know, you can't necessarily, because it doesn't mean, just because you're the parent doesn't mean you cannot read the pages of the book that the child wants you to read because he's kind of in charge of that stuff. We do have I finally got him to start learning. There's a long, probably like 110 page book of the what the hell is it called? Jungle King. But it's got pictures from like the Jungle King movie or cartoon. Like we've never actually watched it together, and it's kind of boring in general. But
the Jungle King. Are you talking about Jungle Book?
Jungle Book. Sorry, yeah, not Jungle King. Jungle Book, and it's long enough to the fact that I don't want to sit there and read it because it would take like 45 minutes to read that thing from start to finish. And I've learned that if you read too short of books, he knows the end is coming and he won't fall asleep. But if you read long books, he'll a lot of times fall asleep while you're reading it. Really? So I've started reading these longer books, but when I realize that he's not getting tired or I'm getting bored with the book in itself or it's not that good of a book, that I will tell him, okay, this is a long book. We'll read 10 pages of it tonight and we'll pick it up tomorrow. And I've got him to start accepting that, but you can't do that for books that are too short.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So I've got him to start accepting some things like that. So it makes it a little bit easier to deal with. But yeah, Fox and Socks was not one of those books that could ever shorten because it just is.
I'm really disappointed that there's these. It makes me. So most of our Dr. Seuss books were my Dr. Seuss books. I don't know how the hell these things survived 40 years, but they did. And they were the ones. I don't know if you ever had any Dr. Seuss books as a kid, but all mine have a little plastic thing on the back where the cassette tape goes for the reading of the book as well.
No, but that's exactly what I needed for that one to see how some of those things are said that I keep.
Yeah, well, what's funny is I don't have any of the cassette tapes. I just have a plastic sleeve on the back of all my books where cassettes once lived. I did find some cassettes where my dad, like, I guess we lost some of the cassettes, and so I have cassettes of my dad reading me the books, where he re-recorded the cassettes. Which is kind of a cool thing to have. But yeah, I guess back in the day, the books came with a cassette reading of the book as well. And so that's what my versions are of these books, but they're extremely old. And how they survived and are still in good shape and don't have like ripped pages and stuff is beyond me.
Yeah, we definitely have some of the really old books that came from, Julia's parents. They'll bring over some, stashes of books from the basement every so often. And like they have some of these Richard Scarry books crack me up because the one about Goldbug, I think I've talked about this before, where it's just there's lots of pictures and lots of things happening in all the pages and there's a story, but one has the little gold bug that's that he's on every page in some way, shape, or form that my son just finds like freaking hilarious. Problem is he can't sleep to that book because he laughs so hysterically at every page. But then there's some of those old books that they have, some Richard Scarry books, some just like random fairy tale books. They're just sick. It's so weird to think that these were the books that we remember as a child, and they're so we don't even want to read some of them to them anymore. We've tried to like remove them and donate them. We tried to do a lot of donation a couple weeks ago, right before my family took off to Ohio to stay there, because her parents were staying here and they were doing all this cleaning and they got all this stuff out. They put it out on the curb. Like, there's a lot of stuff, happens here. There's a lot of free stuff on the street. And put it out on the curb. And, of course, they were walking home from, like, the park one day. And it was behind a side where you couldn't see it from the house. But our son was like, hey, look, my books. And he, like, tried to grab them all and walk them back inside because his books were outside in a box that said free on them.
Yeah. Maybe that's why people take your mail. They just assume it's part of the free stuff.
They could, except that that's within our, you know, our gate and all that stuff. And you've seen, you know, you've seen the videos. It's not exactly like people couldn't mistake my mailboxes, you know.
It's really weird that you left this free stuff up here behind your gate in your mailbox.
In your mailbox. That's crazy. Behind the locked door to your front house. I can't believe you left this like free TV for me to have. Like,
yeah,
it's insane. These people are nice people to give away.
Well, this has been a strange book-related episode, but we're out of time, so I hope you all have enjoyed.
Fox and Socks, sir.
Yeah. See you guys. We'll find another game to play. Bye, everybody.
See ya.